Hi everyone, I'm Tanisha Webb, and this is your Book Club University weekly tip on steps to planning literary events for book clubs. Now, more and more book clubs are taking the reins and planning their own literary events, which is great to see. But there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes in order to have a successful literary event. So, if you're going to plan a literary event, I always advise book clubs to begin by sponsoring book signings for authors. This is a great way for your community to get familiar with your book club. And basically, you'll be able to begin gathering email addresses from participants for future literary events during this time. You can also have your participants complete questionnaires in order to make improvements for future events as well. So once you feel comfortable with sponsoring book signings, because I really believe that they are the easiest ones to actually coordinate, and everything, then I would suggest you then consider moving on to planning literary events. I'm going to give you 6 important tips as you begin planning your own literary event. So tip number 1 is to plan well in advance. Begin planning your event at least, I would say, a year or more in advance, even if you're just jotting down things that you want to do. But about that 1 year mark before your event is to take place, you really need to start putting things into place to move forward with creating this event. You want to start doing this because you really need to give an advance notice to the authors, and also with picking out a venue as well. It's really important that you give your authors or your speakers enough advance notice so that they can be able to attend your event. So also, the sooner you get your authors and your confirmed, the earlier you can begin promoting your event as well. Now, tip number 2 is to be sure to choose the type of event and the purpose of your event. This is really important because when choosing your event type, like a sponsored book signing, if you're going to have a luncheon or a dinner, some type of community service, type of drive, networking event over drinks, or whatever you're going to do, you really need to focus on how you're going to set up this event and everything to make it entertaining for people to want to come. You really should be very clear on what the purpose of this event is for. So is it a networking event? Is it that you're wanting authors to come out and just speak to the community? What is it that you're trying to get across? Is it a fundraising event? What is the purpose for this? So people are very clear on what they're attending. By setting that purpose, this will help you choose the details or the itinerary for your event so that you're able to meet your expectations and make it appealing for people to attend if they're clear on what this event is about, and along with setting a theme for your event as well. Now, tip number 3 is to choose a great venue for your event. Now, depending on the type of event you're planning, there are plenty of venues that can be utilized in order to make your event successful. Now, think outside of the box and look at everything that you can possibly hold an event in. So, a library, restaurants, community centers, bookstores, parks, wherever you feel like that this will give your literary event, a great place to gather. Now, hotels can be very expensive, so it's worth looking at various venues in order to save money, which can also help decrease the price of tickets for people to attend your event if you're charging for admissions. You might also want to think about, if you're not a 501c3 organization, maybe something in your program that a nonprofit group would want to help sponsor this event as well, just because they do get certain discounts on different venues and things like that. But it's also something that you can start to do community service within your event as well. Now, tip number 4 is set a budget early on. I can't describe to you how important this is. When setting your budget, you should include the cost of the venue, the food, including gratuity and tax if you're holding it into a hotel, the travel and lodging expenses for your guest speakers if they're required for you to pay. Money for promoting your event, along with printing costs for programs if you have those. If you're using PayPal or an website like Eventbrite, you need to make sure that you're charging enough for your event to cover those fees as well. Figuring out your budget will help you set a ticket price for participants to be admitted into this event. So you really need to figure out what the budget is so you can set your ticket price if you're charging for those events, to make sure everything is covered. Tip number 5 is to make sure you have plenty of help on hand. It's really important that you have just a lot of help that's helping you to really organize your event and to make sure everything is getting done on time. Make sure when you're choosing people to help you with the event that they are really people that have proven to you that they are reliable and that they can finish tasks on time, so that you don't have to worry about setbacks due to people not completing their task on time or just not doing them at all. Tip number 6 is promotion is key. In order to get the word out about your event, use all forms of promotion that you have available to you. Be sure to promote your early on and use any social networks that are available to you, like Facebook, Goodreads, Twitter, anything that is going to put you into contact with the audience that you're wanting to invite to your event. Be sure to create flyers and ask to hang them in libraries, bookstores, grocery stores, restaurants, beauty salons, or anywhere else that you know that readers would gather. So it doesn't have to be somewhere that's conventional that you would normally pick out. But I'm telling you, like, beauty salons are like the best thing. That's like, who doesn't sit underneath the dryer with at least a magazine or a book in their hand? So definitely hit up your beauty salons. Also, don't forget to leave a few flyers behind so they can be given out, or give permission for them to be printed. Okay. So there's just a few but very important tips on how to begin planning a literary event for your book club. Now, you can learn more about planning literary events in my upcoming book, The Ultimate Book Club Experience, How to Create and Maintain a Successful Book Club, which will be released at the end of the summer in 2011. So until next time, stay blessed and well read.